Hi, welcome to another episode of DOD45. Ty is struggling to speak at the moment, so I am opening for us. Today, we have...
I was just getting into Zen mode.
Today on this episode, we get to talk to... Who do we get to talk to?
Today we're speaking with Yoni Wolf of the band Y.
Sleeping late, I hear the sad horns of labor trucks sigh. My neighbor walks by, high heels click dry. Like half a proud horse down brook, I hear somebody's babbling. I mistook for a cavalry, whispering victory to the sparks in their kindle.
Who actually, he used to go by the name Y, and then he changed over just to the band to just be called Y. So, do you want to hear some things about Yoni? Shoot, that I'm a little
Tired?
No,
You just woke up?
Yeah, kind of.
It's morning as we record, when it's usually afternoon.
Yeah, it's a little weird to be talking in the morning for me still. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So today we have Yoni Wolf on the show, on.
Do you think he's related to Remy Wolf?
Wow. I don't think is his last name actually Wolf?
Yeah.
Because his first name's not actually Yoni, right?
I think it's part of his name.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess we should ask him. Is Remy Wolf's name really Remy Wolf?
I think so.
Huh. That's interesting. I don't think so, but I guess I'll ask him.
She's cool either way.
Yeah.
He's cool too.
He's in a lot of different groups, or not a lot of. I get he does some collaborations. He's also in had a group called Hymie's Basement. He's also with Doseone in a group called cLOUDEAD. I don't know how they pronounce it. I've always just said cLOUDEAD, but
is it cLOUD?
Well, it's the word cloud and dead, but they're butted.
Oh,
right
maybe
up
it's
next to each
clouded.
other. Yeah, but it's spelt dead. The word dead, so it's it's like clouded. I think it's a play on words, clouded and clouded. And of course he's in the band Y. He's doing a residency at the Artist Enabler Club, but I don't know what that means or what that entails, so I'm definitely going to ask him about that today. He's from Cincinnati. Do you know anything about Cincinnati?
Yeah, I was just looking up a weird thing that Mussolini gave the state, or the city, a statue of Remus and Romulus suckling the wolf's teats.
Oh.
Which is, I just think that's weird.
It is Mussolini, like Italian
like the dictator.
World War II dictator
Yeah.
Mussolini? Wow.
And so I wonder, like, is that, I guess it's in a park, but...
What are their names again? I've always wanted to do a drawing of that.
I think isn't it Remus and
Remus and Romney?
No, Romulus. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, I like it's the Greek. I want to say Greek mythology, Roman mythology, but yeah, they were raised by the wolf or something, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always wanted to do a drawing of that. So keep your eye out for that. That's going to happen. Anything else about Cincy?
They have a river that runs north, like the Nile. That's odd.
Oh, is it? Yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah, because usually they run south. Wow. I didn't know that. Flying pigs are the symbol of the city. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
It used to be the pork capital of the.
Oh, good thing it's not anymore.
I think they call it like Porkopolis or something. They have got a thriving brewing industry.
Why is that obvious?
The Midwest has always got fantastic brewing.
I was just looking up pictures of Cincinnati, and I kind of feel like it doesn't really exist. Like it's made up. But it's a real city.
Well, apparently a lot of people there's a side of Cincinnati, or there's a part of Cincinnati where they definitely maybe this is all of Ohio, but definitely identify as southern state. But they're definitely Midwestern, right?
Yeah. Are you drawing a turkey hand with corn?
No, no. That's Yoni's hand, and then that's his those are his eyes on his hand. On the cover on the cover of their Moline. I want to say I don't know how to pronounce it. Moline
How do you spell
album. MOH. It's the first word, and then LHEAN. Here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about him. I've realized the names of like their albums.
Moline. Is that how it goes?
No.
Moline.
It's kind of weird. Like the Alopecia. That's my favorite album of all time. My favorite Y album of all time. When I first saw that, meant maybe 10 years ago. Several years ago. I couldn't pronounce it. I didn't know what it was. Do you know what alopecia is?
I'm just thinking you're mispronouncing Appalachia.
No, I know, because I look at the word, I'm like, what the Well, alopecia is like balding.
Oh, well, doesn't he speak Yiddish? Because I just listened to, he has a song came out for Hanukkah. Yeah, and I listened to it, and it was all... Is that Yiddish, the language?
It is, because I only know that because Howard Stern often busts out into that exact, I'm pretty sure it's that exact thing. I don't know for sure, though. But yeah, so alopecia is it's the partial or complete absence of hair from areas where they normally grow. But that, and then he was in a band with our pal, Mr. Dibbs, long ago. They were called Apogee. Apogee. Do you know what that is?
No.
I don't either. But it's apparently at the peak of something is the apogee.
Do you? So when I was listening, I'm pretty sure I have a Y song on on one of my playlists. But when I was going through listening, I'm like, this sounds like, and I know that you don't. Maybe not like it when I compare, and I'm not comparing.
It's okay. That's what people do.
At first, the one song I listened to, he sounded a bit like Daniel Johnston. Is that his name?
Sure, yeah.
And then also I got like major Ween vibes, older Ween.
Sure.
Vibes. And then...
Kind of got that vibe.
For the band Y. I didn't listen to the other...
Should we bring that up to him?
No. I don't know. Why?
I don't know. Daniel Johnston, that's awesome. Well, I like both bands. I was supposed to go see Ween in the summer.
Oh, that's right. I'm the one, I think, who turned you on to Ween.
Oh, I don't know. Probably you had the album.
CD.
Yeah, the CD with the boobs hanging out underneath the...
Yeah, that's...
shirt.
I'm like, I think this sounds like Ween, kind of. And so I Googled it, and then I searched... anyway, that Spinal Meningitis song.
Oh, yeah, that's a
I forgot all about that song.
That's a gnarly song. Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you just said something that was intriguing. Oh yeah, the Daniel Johnston thing. That's very interesting.
I didn't look up Daniel Johnston though, so I don't really remember if
Daniel Johnston's very. I mean, he's.
I don't know if I put that right though. It just
I can see that though. The only reason I don't love the comparing thing is you remember people always compare my work to that one person, and I don't know. I mean,
just several people, but yeah, it's probably not. Actually, they probably don't sound anything like it, but in my head, I make the connection with those.
But I think everybody does, so what I'm saying is, I'm gonna just be okay with that because it makes sense. You want to try to like go, oh, this is kind of familiar to me.
I think when people compare your art to these other artists that are really well known but nothing similar in style, I think that it's because they get the same vibes, like. There's thought put into your work, and then there's also you question this other person's work that you're often compared to. Just generally, you're like, wow, that's a thoughtful piece. So I think that's probably what it is more than anything.
But I think that's what you're doing when you're doing the comparing of the music. Mm-hmm. You're going, oh, it's the same. Gives me that vibe. It gives me that.
Yeah.
That's something. I think it's actually a good thing to try to do. I know as a lot of artists, and as for myself, I kind of like think weirdly of it, but that's just stupid. I'm going to stop doing that because yeah. What What? Yeah. Oh, so that band that they were all in together. Dibs. It's called Apogee. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. You said.
So it was Dibs, Doseone, and Yoni's brother Josiah Wolf, who is a phenomenal drummer.
Well, and I saw that on their wiki that they're brothers and that he plays basically the same instruments as.
They're really, really good musicians.
And they work together a lot. It seems like.
And they, I want to say, challenge sounds. And last night when I was talking to the Dibs, he said some funny thing like you throw. They make such the kind of music where you just try anything, and he made this. He said this term about throwing a wet raccoon against the snare drum or something. It was something funny like that. I don't know. It made me laugh, but. And then you just got one sound out of that wet raccoon hitting the snare, and then you take that and make something out of it. But
yeah, there's some cool soundscapes in Y.
Yeah, I'm like I said, the Alopecia album is one of my favorite albums of all time, of any band musician. As far as I know, they have the only studio albums that I know of are their first album, which is Elephant Eyelash, then Alopecia. Sod in the Seed, Mumps, the Moline, I don't know how to pronounce that, and then AOK Ohio. That's like the newest one, full album, but I don't know if it's like AOK Ohio. That's how it's exactly spelled, but it's all caps, one word. So they make they use a lot of these words that are difficult for me to.
Basically, they're smart.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask him if they use these words in there, if that's part of their actual. Is vernacular like a body of words that you use? Vernacular?
Sure.
Is that what that means?
Mm-hmm.
See, I can use words. I'm a big fan anyway, so I'm looking forward to having him on the show. Did I have any other notes that I wrote down that I wanted to bring up? I think that was it.
Okay, well, should we take a quick break?
Yeah, let's
come
take
back and welcome
Yoni
Wolf. Are your walls blank and begging to be decorated? Or are you tired of having art that is basic?
Yes.
It has never been easier to purchase art that is just as unique as you. At artbytie.com, you can find art prints and original pieces of artwork done by master pen artist Tai Taiwali'i. But that's not all. You can also shop ready-to-hang limited edition art and a new children's book, as well as coffee table books. So don't spend another moment looking at walls that don't reflect who you are. Go to artbytie.com today.
Do it now.
Maybe he left because it doesn't show
No,
him
there
in.
he is.
Oh no! Oh, there you are.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I like this. I like this underpainting, undersketch.
Yeah, I used to do it all right during the whole podcast, but then I realized.
Marty, come here. They drew you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. The boring part is when I'm like sketching out the idea, the concept, and it actually takes me the longest. So
yeah,
we decided it was probably better to have a concept written or drawn out, and then I can just start, giving it some beef.
For sure.
What's your dog's name?
Marty
McFly.
Yeah.
That's how you'll remember it. Well, thanks for joining us on the show today. It's really a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, cheers. I've seriously, I have been. Well, I get weirded out when I want to compliment somebody. By the way, how are you with compliments?
Oh, it's fine. They breeze past me.
For a long time, I really struggled with them, and then I was like, "Fuck it!" You just gotta take them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, It just it should help build you up a little bit.
Well, we discovered one thing because we do most of our shows in the summer, so that's when I'll have interaction with people who collect my artwork. So we discovered in the winter I turn into a real dick, and my wife realized it was because I'm not getting a bunch of praise all the time, and so I start getting really bummed out.
Also, that seasonal affective disorder too doesn't help.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Although you're probably, where are you at?
We spend our winters in our Salt Lake City home, so we get pretty cold and snowy. And
You got a winter house and a summer house?
no, we got a work house and a relax house.
No, it's so we mostly work in the Midwest when we're doing shows, and the West we're from Utah. Our family's here, our friends are here, so it's hard to leave here permanently. It would be better on our budget if we did, but we've bought a place in the Midwest and we work out of there. We're based out of there during our show months.
Yeah.
Where in the Midwest? It's hella secretive. Like, no, it's a compound in the Midwest.
Hannibal, Missouri.
Hannibal, Missouri. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got there's cheap homes, much like where,
it's just a small town.
Yeah.
It's a super desirable place. That's why it's so cheap. Just kidding.
There's a lot of work.
There's tons
Everybody
of work.
wants to be there.
That's right. There's still floating logs down the Mississippi. So
exactly.
So before we get going, my wife brought up something in our intro. She said, I wonder if he's related to Remy Wolf just because of the last name. I said probably not, but I decided I'd ask.
I don't know who Remy Wolf is.
Okay.
You don't?
I don't. Who is that?
Oh,
she's
popular. She's like 16, 17. Hopefully I've got that right. But do you think she's
years
older?
old? 17 years old?
I think she's
No.
Do you think she's older?
I do. She's a musician. I don't know what kind of music.
She plays indie.
She opened for Thundercat. We took our son's a huge Thundercat fan, so we took our son and our daughter. So we took them to a Thundercat concert, and she opened for him. It's the first time I saw her, and she fucking rocked the whole. It was incredible.
Our kids knew who she was already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're not related.
You got weirdo artsy indie kids.
We do. Sure. So she's born in 96. So someone do that math.
Oh shit.
Well, I know exactly how old that is because that's the age of my ex-girlfriend, 24.
Oh,
see?
16,
17. You were way off, but 24
maybe 25.
is like
Possibly
25. Super young.
25 is still a baby.
Yeah.
She looks really young. Anyway, she's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. Mostly she just rocked the crowd. It was incredible. Anyway, all right. Well, so let's see. I got some notes down before I start drawing. I just wanted to say, you recently posted the thing about the residency at the Artist Enabler Club.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Woo! It is getting chilly out there. I'm glad you're here, actually, because I wanted to bring something up. You know my band Y, right? Well, have you ever wondered about the process, like writing and collecting the songs to make the album? Well, we're doing a thing where you can follow along as I write and demo one song every month.
I watched the video. The video is awesome. I love the layering. That you shot the video where you're taking off the layers and then you put all these layers back on. It's fantastic. But what does that entail? What is that residency like? What's that about?
Well, basically, people sign up for a subscription to get. It just keeps me working. Basically, I have to have one original song and one cover song turned in every single month. So it just keeps me going, keeps the pressure on, keeps me moving. And then people get to hear, they're like demo versions, like because I can't get super anal with that amount of time, like I have to keep it moving. So it's kind of like just rough drafts.
Yeah, that's a good exercise.
Exactly, as I go. And then we'll work towards, having enough material to go record an album with the band and stuff. But initially I'm doing most of it. Like the original stuff I'm doing mostly by myself. My brother just came in to sort of like throw me a life raft for the cover songs where he's like, yeah, I'll help you finish those, just because like it's a lot on my own. So he's helping me with that.
So it's like a online residency, or is it like an in-house?
No, online. Yeah. No, I can be
Okay.
wherever I want to be.
Oh, okay.
Though I'm actually, if anybody out there does artist residencies, I actually want to go somewhere and work, in a place for a while.
That'd be great.
I think that would be cool. I have a couple options of like places I could go stay at friends' houses and stuff, but it'd be cool to do an actual artist residency somewhere. But yeah, no, this is like through the record label. They just call it that, Artist Enabler Club. It's it's
cool
thing.
I
like that.
I've belonged to that club for a long time.
Have you really?
Unofficially.
Oh, cool.
I've been an artist enabler.
Yes.
For like the last,
For sure.
30 years.
However
long.
Since around 90s.
That's funny.
Since about the time Remy was born.
I was thinking like, have you really? And I brought that up in the intro, and you didn't say anything about it.
No, now is Remy related to you guys? Now I have to ask.
Yeah.
It kind of coincided.
No, I wish. No, I don't. I don't know why. I would say one of those things. It's just a name.
Yeah.
Well, I actually haven't heard very many people with the last name Wolf. It's not a Smith.
It's not a Smith, but it's not. I don't think it's crazy rare. We're out there.
It's probably something that got chopped off at the end. Like it just started with
Could be.
Wolf and ended brief, something longer and then just got cut down.
Now I heard something that maybe should be fact checked, but like I was dating this German girl. She told me that Wolf is usually a Jewish name, and it was like, I'm Jewish, and that it's sort of from Germany. She's saying that it was like pejorative, like it was like, oh, you can't trust these people, they're wolves or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I love. If that's the truth, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll own it. But I don't know if that's the truth or not. Or sure,
It sounds good though.
It sounds good.
It seems like that's something that would have happened.
It does seem very much like that.
Area.
Though that's what we tend to do, is we tend to go like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That's factual.
Let's go with that.
You mentioned the thing. I just wanted to ask you this real quick. I wonder about this this residency, about how I get the premise of forcing you to kind of get things done or do things, get some work done. I have a similar thing where I started doing these 45-minute drawings, or even these, the podcasts, or I was doing quick things as a way to keep myself fresh, or not fresh, but like keep that muscle memory going. I have discovered it has been detrimental to my craft because I fell into bad habits with some of my shading, where I'm doing kind of quick shading. Do you have any concerns of picking up bad habits when you're kind of rushing through doing rough draft stuff?
No, because, and I'll tell you why. The cover songs are a bit of, it's like anything goes type of thing for those. It's not, I don't take it that seriously because It's not my song. It's kind of like I do my version, and whatever it is, some of them come out better than others. The original songs, will be completely re-recorded.
Oh, okay.
So it's really just to write, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, in that regard, I always have the option to update. So like, if I write something and like there's a phrase in there that I'm like, I'm just not so sure about that, I can always change it later, especially like, in the studio with the band and sitting there playing it, 30 times in a row. It's going to come to me what I need to say,
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's more like doing a maquette or a sketch for a big painting that you're going to do later.
Yeah. That makes plenty. That's what I initially was thinking, that's what I was doing, and then I started realizing, when I was working on some of my more elaborate pieces, I was picking up some kind of bad habits with my shading and stuff that I could, because I'm impatient. People think I'm patient because of my work I do, but I am actually impatient. I want to get through my piece and move on to something new, another idea. So anyway,
I think that's also. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think with you particularly, that's also because we had the pandemic. So we were doing drink and draw classes. You were doing 45-minute things. You started the podcast. So there was a long period of time where you weren't working on your big pieces.
The pieces I love. Yeah.
So what were you
always
gonna
use
say?
ballpoint pen?
Yeah, I paint with oils and stuff. I started as a graffiti artist long ago, but pen's been where my passion is, and it's just what I'm used to, and it's become my style. So I'm comfortable with it. I feel good about it. So yeah.
I bet I know where that comes from.
Not
You're in
prison.
high school.
Just kidding.
You're in high school. You're sitting in class and you're drawing with
On the soles of your shoes.
On my Levi's, on my shoes, on my anything that I could draw on. And only two of my teachers ever realized, like, oh, there's something there. I'll just let him draw, because if I'm not drawing, I can't really pay attention to anything. But
Right.
that's how this came about. I was like, oh, I can have a conversation with people when I'm drawing.
I'm similar, man. I was a graffiti writer too, back in those early days, the teen years, and same thing. I always drew with ballpoint pen, and I still I still draw a little bit. I do any kind of art for my, record covers and things like that, and still like ballpoint pen is what feels the most familiar. Like, even though it's permanent, it feels like easier than pencil for some reason,
I do. I tell people all the time what I love about pen is there's no erasing. Like, you just got to go. You just got to keep going, because I usually hate everything that I'm working on while I'm working on it. And then I've learned over, the last 20 years that eventually it ends up being good, well enough. So
your stuff's incredible, man. It's incredible.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna get this old school timer going and set a timer for 45 minutes. That way it keeps us. I hate taking up people's time, so that was kind of the initial reason why I started doing the 45-minute. Right before I do start, I do want to say Dibs called me up last night. He usually calls me up when he sees who I'm going to be talking to, and he told me he wanted to tell me the story of you in a battle rap, and I didn't realize that you did any battle rapping. But
wait, who called you? I missed that.
Mr. Dibs.
Oh, Dibs. Okay.
He told me the story of a battle rap. I want to say it's called Top Cats and the guy got real thug battle rap, obvious stuff on you, and then for 1 minute, like your retort was caveman grunting for like an entire minute, which is brilliant. I think he said you won too, the battle.
I don't remember if I won or not, but he wasn't a thuggish guy. He was you had the different categories. You have the sexual, like, lover guy, you got the thuggish guy, and then you got the weed guy. This was a weed guy. He was a weed rapper.
But what was he coming at you with? Do you remember?
Fucking, I'll smoke you like a blunt or what,
okay.
whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Just like, just weed stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's pretty fun. I mean, I think that's brilliant. What was that? Just a moment right then you decided I'm coming at him like that, or did you consider that before?
I had nothing planned whatsoever. I was just like, my friend was like, yo, you need to do this. You need to sign up. You need to sign. I'm like, all right. Like, I never battled anybody in my life. And it's not, and never since either. It's not at all like what I think is appealing or part of my art form. I do find it appealing watching people battle. I enjoy it. But for myself, I've never been good at that. I have some friends that are incredible at it. But yeah, I don't know. I certainly very impromptu kind of situation.
Any idea if there's any video of that anywhere? I mean, I probably wasn't during cell phone.
There's audio. I know there's audio because we put it as like a hidden track at the end of a CD.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. All right. Well, here we go. I'll set this timer for 45 minutes. I'm going to be drawing your dog, Marty. And
Yes.
I don't normally do portrait stuff, so I do have it sketched out. I think I'll be able to pull it off. We'll see. But
Yeah,
I
you
hope
got
it's
this.
not offensive if it doesn't look like Marty.
I like the me as well. The hand me is great.
Yeah, that's on your album cover, and we were talking about it on the intro. I don't know how to pronounce most of your album names.
Good.
I'm saying Moline, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
What is
That's
it?
the Americanization. It's
What,
worked.
what would you call it?
Oh,
see.
okay. Is it Yiddish?
No. I don't know. I made it up.
Do
Oh, you did?
Do you speak Yiddish?
No.
Oh, but yeah, okay. Well,
Well, your Hanukkah song, isn't that all in Yiddish?
That's Hebrew, but
Oh, is that not the same
oh, are they
thing?
different?
Sorry.
they're different. Yeah. So
Ignorant over here.
Yeah, we are ignorant.
no, it's fine. So Hebrew is, more of a Semitic language, so related to like Arabic. Yiddish is more related to German. It's kind of like a mix between German with a little bit of Hebrew in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's basically, and then there's Ladino, which is a mix between Spanish and Hebrew. So wherever the Jews got like pushed to, they like would learn the language there and sort of mix it with their language.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were displaced everywhere.
Yeah, they got moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad to learn that. My favorite thing about everything is about the show, especially, is learning something new that I didn't even have any idea we were going to actually learn. I write down some questions to keep, to learn some stuff, and I usually keep them pretty light, just because I don't know. That's the kind of person I am. I enjoy having like a playful conversation with people. It makes me happy.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
But the Hebrew, I don't speak Hebrew either. But the the prayer is something that it's like singing "Oh Christmas Tree." You know what I mean? Like you just know it because you hear it every year since you're born or whatever. So
it's a song. Bless you. It's a song that was, or hymn or whatever you call it, that's been around forever, and you just did your version of it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, but I interrupted, man.
No. Well, do you have a favorite knock-knock joke?
I do have an interesting story about a knock-knock joke. So I had a band back in the day called cLOUDEAD, which I don't know if you've heard of that or not. Yes. But it was like an early group of mine with a couple of guys, and I was rapping in it with my friend Dose, and Dose at the time when we were getting started, this was the late 90s, we didn't know what to call our group name, and he had a little sister who was like 4 years old, and she told a knock knock joke. She said, who's there, or knock knock, who's there? And she says Cloud. Adam says Cloud who? She says cLOUDEAD. And that's how we got our band name.
Perfect.
Straight up. 4-year-old.
We were just talking about that band before we let you in.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out if it was cLOUDED or cLOUDEAD, but you just kind of cleared it.
Yeah, cLOUDEAD, because clouded would be 1D. But yeah, very, very
well, I know, but we weren't sure because with the, what did you call it? Mohair or moline?
Mohair sweater. I don't think that, I don't have a problem with anyone that, calling it clouded. I think that's fine. It's definitely a made up thing anyway. You know what I mean?
I figured for years I have called it cLOUDEAD. I mean, it's just that it's bundled together, and the spelling of it is dead. So, yeah, it doesn't. I have this favorite knock knock joke that I want to share. Are you interested in hearing it?
Please.
Okay, you have to start it.
Okay, knock knock.
Who's there? I don't know why that makes me laugh so much.
Got him. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember who told me that one, but I don't know. Every time I hear it, I just laugh.
That's a good one.
Did you ever do any stand up?
No.
Was that something you would ever be interested in doing? Because you're fun. You're really witty and funny.
Thank you. There was a time, certainly, when I thought, like, gosh, wouldn't that be great? Like, I don't have to carry any gear. I just carry a microphone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, roll around in a Prius or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A stool. Carry around my stool and a microphone. That's all I need. And so that appealed to me. But it's a real craft, and that would take years of work for me. And also, after the pandemic, I'm like, nah, I don't really need to be like,
no kidding,
forcing myself to make a living by being in. You can't survive without actually touring and stuff. Like, I have a good friend that does it and she's been hustling all pandemic, and I don't want to feel like I'm beholden. Already most of my living was made on the road, but with music you can pivot a little more. Maybe with comedy you can write a TV show or something.
Yeah, but not every. I mean, yeah, picking up a TV show or
that's not easy.
No. Would you rather be a magician or a stand-up comedian?
Shit. I mean, if I had the powers, I think I would be a magician, but I think that I could more easily shift into stand-up than I could into kind of magic at this moment. Are
you a fan of magic? Are you a fan of like magician shows, magic shows?
I love it, man. Yeah. I've gone on these these internet rabbit holes with David Blaine and shit, and I'm like, I mean, it's amazing. Like, and my friend sent me this other guy on like TikTok or something that was doing this card stuff. I mean, yeah, I definitely a fan. What do you guys?
Yeah, I'm a big magician fan. In fact, that's funny when you bring up David Blaine. When David Blaine's first special came out and he was like levitating, I swore, I was telling all my friends, I was like, you guys, you fucking have to see this guy. He really figured out a way to fucking levitate. I totally believed that he figured it out because he was all weird, and I really believe I'm way into like, you can use your mind to pretty much do anything you want, not levitate, but I was hooked for a minute. I really was like, that motherfucker figured it out.
I mean, it's definitely confounding. I mean, there's no, but he is doing, you always see it from a certain angle. That's one thing I'll say. It's like 3/4 from behind. And it's like, okay, what's he doing with his front foot or something?
Well, I ruined it because I fucking ended up watching that stupid mask guy give up the how he did it, and it ruined it.
Oh, now you just ruined it for him.
I didn't ruin it. I mean, obviously, knows he didn't actually levitate.
Yeah,
but the way he did it really bummed me out, and I won't ruin that for you. But yeah, it. That mask guy.
Send me a link to the mask guy, though.
Huh?
Send me a link to the ruiner.
You want to see? Okay, I will. I'll send it to you because it did really ruin it. It ruined only that because, I mean, still David Blaine's side hand is fantastic and he's got great tricks. But
he is really cool. I listened, like maybe during the pandemic, during the summer of 2020, I listened to his interview with Rick Rubin on Rick Rubin's podcast. He's really interesting. And the way he puts his mind to things.
Which Rick Rubin podcast? Broken Record or different?
Broken Record, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know David Blaine was on there. Yeah. I gotta check that out. I mean, the other thing is like, he does more than just magic because he does these Houdini-like feats that are like, like he'll be underwater or like the catching a fucking bullet in it. That's real. I mean, he caught a 22 caliber bullet in his fucking mouth, like.
That mask guy gives away those. After I saw the one levitating one, I refused to watch any giveaways of.
You're saying the bullet shit's not real?
I don't know. I saw that the mask guy has videos of almost all of David Blaine's, even his what do you call those? Like
feats or something.
Yeah, like being in the ice block and all of that stuff. Yeah, he gave away how he did those too. So. But I didn't watch any of those because after he ruined the one thing, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? It's like watching Faces of Death. Like I still watched those videos and I was like, why am I watching this shit?
That shit could ruin your life, man. I can't watch that shit.
Were they being passed around at all when you were growing up?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't watch George Floyd. I can't. That'll fucking ruin me for like years.
I haven't watched it either. I turn away from that. I know how bad shit is and I just don't need to add on to it. I already know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But people love that stuff, man. They love watching that. I don't know why.
Every time you drive past an accident, the traffic is slow, not because they're trying to be cautious, because they're just trying to see who died.
Rubberneckers are, I find that comes out of a lot of people who have really boring lives. But I don't know. I hate to generalize, but it seems like people whose lives are really boring, they tend to really eat that stuff up. But who knows? Hey, are your lyrics and your music, are they like a precise depiction of your actual being and philosophies, or are they more explorative of self?
They're explorative, man.
Yeah.
So I pull stuff from my real life, but I also take liberties and pull stuff from other people's lives or from stuff I've just imagined or things I've seen or,
Is it weird to like have people hanging on every word? Like your fans, like people really get into it.
It
is weird actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I'm curious. I was just gonna say I'm curious. There was a lyric I heard this morning when I was listening that about you never wear condom or rubbers and or sunscreen. I hope that was I won't.
Hyperbole.
That was from my imagination.
For your safety. I hope you were just playing. Because skin cancer is real.
My wife is, she's very much like big, gigantic. What do I always make fun of?
He feels like I wear a sombrero every time I go outside.
I call it her. What's the lady I always say? I call it your.
It's just a sun hat.
Wait till she's 75 and still looking fine though.
I know. She's definitely right.
75.
Yeah, she is 75.
You got that right.
Speaking of lyrics, one of my favorite lyrics, and we won't do the whole. Let's spill out all your lyrics, but I don't even know where you were heading with it, but it's always one that I just hear in my head. Do not focus on the limb that's missing.
Do not focus on the limb that's missing with the damn phantom thing itching.
It's like my favorite. It's one of my favorite like opening lines to anything. I'm big into like don't focus on the negative shit. But I don't even know if that's where you were headed with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that sums it up. Just it's like everybody's got something that they could always focus on negatively. There's always something, and it's all relative, but like there's always something, and it's like, but there's always so much good,
Yeah.
So it's like you really do create your reality, I feel like, with perspective and all that.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is great. I love watching you draw. It's fun.
Oh, well, thank you.
I can see you're so zoned in on it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do that. Oh, sorry.
A lot of people, you must not be on your phone because a lot of people, I think they're on their phones and you can hardly see it when you're on your phone.
No, I'm on a laptop.
Yeah.
That lyric comes from your song "One Mississippi," and this is a really real question. Do you count in Mississippis?
No, I don't.
Because I do. I've counted in Mississippis almost my whole life. Well, I played sports, and when we would do stretches, and so still when I'm doing my stretches, I count in Mississippis. Because
What did you play?
I played football.
Okay.
Not football, but I played football.
Yeah. That's a real football. I guess it comes from football. I mean, definitely when I played half a season of football when I was like, I don't know, 11 or something like that, little league or whatever you call it with football. And I didn't even play. I played like 2 scrimmage games. I didn't even make it into the real season. My friend who like dragged me into it quit like way before I did. And then finally I quit when I realized I was like so small compared to all the other kids. And like they put me at center for some reason.
Oh my God.
I was just getting fucking creamed. And I was tough, but I was like, way smaller. Anyway.
That's fun. That's funny. But what was the draw?
Well,
Why?
Mississippi was the count for the.
Is that where like where you remember it coming from?
Yeah.
Like from football, from the youth? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I still count. In my head, that's all I can hear. 1, 2, 3. So people, what are some of the other ones that people do?
1,000.
Oh yeah, 1,000 too.
Oh yeah, 1,000. Yeah.
That's right.
That's what I do with thunder, lightning.
Oh yeah, you
right.
do.
That tells you how far it is.
Yeah, I panic every time I hear something close. And I start counting.
Yeah,
That's true. With Hannibal, Missouri, they probably get a good amount of tornadoes and shit.
In our spot we don't get a ton, but we're on the road all the time, and we have been we both feel like we have her more so than me, but a little bit of PTSD from tornado shit, you know?
Yeah.
Because we do outdoor things, and so there's not really shelter.
Like
so
camping and stuff, you mean?
No, outdoor.
When we're doing outdoor festivals and shows.
And there's normally not an indoor shelter. Sometimes there is. So
mine comes from being when we're out driving and we're going through a storm because there's no, like, where am I going to go? When you're out on the highway.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. When they say if there's a tornado coming at you, you know, get out, lay in a ditch. And I remember there was a tornado kind of coming towards us, and we were in Louisiana. I'm like, we can't get out and lay in a ditch in Louisiana. Like, first of all, it's flooded, and then there's
other bodies in that ditch already.
And the alligators.
And the alligators.
Oh, shit, yeah.
We're just going to die. We were fine.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very practical.
No.
In
it
a
doesn't.
Storm, ditches flood.
At least in the car, you're safe from lightning, right? Because of the tires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
But 99% of deaths that happen in tornadoes are from flying debris. So I disagree with the going out and laying in the ditch, because debris is flying everywhere. Why they want you to do it is that you're supposed to be in the lowest ground possible, but I don't know.
You don't want to become part of that debris.
No, yeah, that's right. I don't know what the numbers are for being part of the debris. Yeah. I'm sure 100% of deaths in tornadoes, that when you were debris, they're 100%. There's no survival rate.
You can't really survive that. Although, you know, fucking Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy.
I know. Yeah.
And even Toto made that.
Yep.
That's true. You said the Wizard of Oz. I lost a thought that I just had when you said Wizard of Oz. It came and went. For your money, who are some of your favorite hip hop artists? What, past or present, or?
Yeah, you know, I don't do these like the GOAT lists, the fucking 5, you know, whatever, because I'm not as, you know, I love the virtuosity of a great rapper, but I'm more focused on good music, you know, like people that like. So I mean, certainly early on, you know, I was into like Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul, and you know, I think Tribe is awesome, but De La Soul to me, like, really stands the test of time. Like, if you go back to like De La Is Dead or like Balloon Mind State or something, like, it still like rings true today, and like I felt like they always got like on a deeper, like, it always seemed like they were going a little deeper with the shit, and not just kind of, you know, like, rappers talk shit. That's what a lot of rappers talk shit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they kind of were always on some like concept shit, which I always liked.
A lot of people are just discovering them now that they've got their, you know, now that they got their publishing back a lot, and some people who only do streaming music. They're just getting it. And like you said, it is relevant today. It almost feels like, oh, De La Soul just dropped a new album, but it's, you know, an album from
30 years ago.
93.
Yeah. So definitely, speaking of 93, Balloon Mind State was really my favorite one. But, you know, I mean, there's tons of great rappers. I mean, like somebody like Kendrick Lamar, you're just like, whoa, like, dude. You know, Outkast. I mean, I was always a huge like Andre Benjamin fan from very early on. And he was kind of my favorite back in high school. You know what's trippy? I read a interview that he did, that Andre did. I can't remember who maybe it was Spin Magazine or something. But he said he'll never. He was like, I'm a shitty rapper. I'm no good. I can't do it. Was crazy, and he was dead serious. That was when he kind of quit, and I haven't really seen him do anything else. But he's like, I'll never top what people think of me, and I'm not good enough to keep moving. But when someone like that says something like that, it's almost like, what the fuck? like hearing him on like the Frank Ocean songs, or like, I mean, all his little features that he does. He did one on a Beyonce song, I remember some years back. He always kills it. Like,
Yeah.
and just has, and it's not even, that's the thing. Like, it's like being a good rapper to me has, of course, you need technical prowess to some extent, but the whole thing about rap to me is it's more a personalized art form. Like, it's more about your fucking style. If you had like your panache, you're like, you know, your own take on what rap is. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like, this is me. Like, that's so it's a very individualistic art form, I think.
I agree.
Because you can't really, like, in doing these cover songs, like, I haven't done a rap song because that would be weird. You know what I mean? Like, I did cover most recently, and my people don't even know this yet because I haven't put it out yet, but I just am finishing it up over the last couple of days. A song by Mac Miller, but it's less of a rap song. It's more of like he's like kind of singing, you know?
Right. Yeah. Is that
so? It kind of worked, but yeah.
That's awesome. Is it weird to? I guess it's not weird. I don't know. Well, I think of like people who've passed away and then covering, but we've been doing that our whole lives. It seems weird because it's.
Did you know Mac Miller?
I didn't know him. No. You know, my friend who I've done some work with as an engineer. He's an engineer. He was friends with Mac and was his like I think he was his live engineer. But no, that's my 1 degree of separation. But I didn't know him. No.
Yeah,
I didn't even really know his music. Actually,
I didn't either
until he died.
Same.
And then I started listening, and he's got some great stuff.
Yeah, I have the exact same experience as you with that. Well, well, let me hit you with some Sophie's choices because that's what I love to do on the show. And yeah, you don't have. You can pick or you don't have to. It doesn't matter. They're just for fun. And if you don't know who they are, fuck it, doesn't matter. Star Wars.
What's the deal? I kill one and I save
No,
one.
no,
you
just do that.
You just pick which one you take out of the other.
You could do it.
But you can
marry kill.
Yeah, you can do. We don't. Yeah, because it's mostly just FK because I don't have a third for one to marry. Star Wars Jedis or Jedi mind tricks.
I know who Jedi mind tricks is vaguely, but I never have heard them. So I have to, I guess, go with Star Wars, even though that's like the mainstream answer. I'll take the Jedi mind tricks, even though I haven't heard them. Sight unseen. Sight unseen.
Are you not a big Star Wars fan then?
No, I like Star Wars. I do. You know, I haven't watched all the shit. Like, I didn't watch the Vandalorian or whatever.
Right. I haven't either.
But yeah, I definitely when I was a kid, I was a big fan of the original 3, you know.
It seems to me like authenticity for you is a big deal. So I'm wondering, do you like consciously make an effort to avoid something that's mainstream or cliche, or is it just so you to not, to be outside the box that you don't even have to actively be like, I don't want to like that because it's mainstream or whatever. You're just automatically not attracted to it. Do you get what I'm saying there?
Yeah. I think there was a time in my like teens and maybe early 20s where I sort of purposefully, looked away from mainstream shit because I didn't want to be like brainwashed. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, and I was like renting like weird, obscure fucking Ingmar Bergman movies from the library and shit.
Oh my God, I have the exact experience.
But like now, for better or for worse, I pay attention to a lot of mainstream shit. Not super actively, but like I'll listen to pop radio in the car when I'm driving, and I can appreciate, the craft in that stuff. And I'll watch something like, speaking of space stuff, I watched, Dune, even though everybody's jocking it, or yeah, or like, The Beatles. I've always been a big Beatles fan, even though it's like the most famous band of all time. But they're really good, and so I've been watching that documentary that came out recently about them.
Do you have to be a? I have two things I want to ask you about that. Do you have to be a musician? I know I'll take a ton of flack for this, but I just don't care. I listened to a lot to Beatles and stuff, but I didn't get it because I was way more Pink Floyd and Zeppelin head, but I didn't get Beatles. Do you have to be a musician? That's a good quote.
I don't get the Beatles.
I mean, I understand. I'm a huge Howard Stern fan, so I hear him talk about them all the time, and I realize that they did something that no one was doing, but I don't know.
There's your dog.
I could go.
Yeah, is he back there?
Yeah. Marty's. Right he wants to pee. Oh, yeah. He's like, what?
I'm bringing him up. Hold on.
Yeah, get him.
The dog was playing peekaboo. Let's see you. Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
Marty.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, Marty. Hi.
What is that? What's the relationship there? Like he's like your best mate, right?
He's my best mate. Yeah.
How long?
Not my mate. Exactly.
Right. I know. how long you had him?
5-6 years.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger than I thought they were. I've never seen one.
He's a big one. He's a big boy. Like I've only met like 2 others, but they were much smaller than him. He's like 20 pounds. Usually they're like 10 pounds or something.
Did you get him as a puppy?
I got him when he was like under a year, like 8 months or something.
Was he a rescue then?
Yeah.
Or why did somebody only have him for 8 months?
He was a rescue. He got like given to this like foster organization. I don't know why. I have my guesses because I have 2 guesses. One is that he's too big. That the breeder couldn't sell him, and then the other is that he's too hairy because he has like scraggles on his back, and maybe that's not like perfect for.
Oh, that's not desirable for like a dog collector, I guess.
He doesn't have term. He doesn't have any issues like.
He has some issues, but maybe they couldn't have known that stuff. He had like, not to be graphic, but he had some like butt gland stuff that he had to get those removed.
Yeah.
But he's doing good now. And skin issues. I mean, they all have skin issues. That's just like
plus you can't afford that. You wonder if there was a previous owner, if they're like, well, I can't really leave it outside all day. It'll get sunburned or it'll get too cold, and then there's all those. Are
those kind of people looking for those kind of dogs?
No, that can happen. I have heard about like, you see these horror stories about people leaving a Chinese crested out in the sun. And
oh, geez.
But this was like a backyard breeder situation that they gave it straight to the rescue. And I just make guesses about why.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, that makes me think. So we know you don't use sunscreen. do you use sunscreen on your dog?
I don't, because he just would lick it off. And so if anything, if we go somewhere that's super sunny, he wears a shirt.
A shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
And these dogs wouldn't exist without humans. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no dogs would, I guess, but yeah. Specifically, these dogs would not survive. Yeah.
Right.
Reservoir dogs.
Yeah. He's going under.
You mentioned I wanted to ask, do you think that that's an age thing about where you eventually
He loves it. He loves it.
Does he? Is that one of his favorite?
That's his den.
Yeah. He loves it. He just settled in.
You're like, I'll only take a shirt in an extra large so my Joey can sit in my pouch.
Oh, well, for me, I'd need to get a XXX so I could fit in there. And
right.
Do you think that is an age thing? Where you can start appreciating, like, oh, okay, I can listen to some pop music and I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, possibly age, or maybe it has to do with the internet, social media and exposure and just like being beat over the head with fucking Taylor Swift. I don't know, It's hard to say, but I don't know. Did that happen to you as well?
Well, I always thought it was because we had kids and my kids started listening to music and I started hearing their music and I was like, okay, I can see why that's attractive, though they still have great taste in music. I hear some of the shit they're listening to and I'm like, come
But
on,
it's
please.
not pop.
It's not
Aside
pop, but it's shit.
Oh, they're on some weird shit.
Yeah, aside from
Our kids do.
Lil Nas X, there's really no pop.
That's true.
He's so good anyway.
Are you joking? Because I love him.
You know, look, I only have heard the Old Town Road, but come on, that's a fucking smash.
Oh, there's
My wife loves him.
I do. He is, and I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on here, but right now he's doing like what Madonna did in the 80s and 90s, and just like pushing the bar with acknowledging gay black people and just gay people in general. And I absolutely love
to the masses.
Yeah.
He's pissing people off, and he doesn't.
I love that about. I love that he came out as a country artist. You know, like was like, "Fuck you, I'm a country artist." Like, yeah, no, he seems like real cool. Like, I can't say I've heard all the music, but maybe
he
I should
has
check
some
it
new
out.
songs out right now that are really good, and they are definitely poppy. But I love them.
So I put together mostly these hip hop groups because that's what I know mostly. I have an eccentric taste in music, but what about Zed's Dead or Dead Prez?
Zed's Dead, meaning from Pulp Fiction.
No, it's a band because I don't know a whole lot about them, but they're huge.
Okay, no, I don't know Zed's Dead.
Yeah.
I guess they got the name from Pulp Fiction, but
yeah.
I the other one was Dead Press.
Yeah.
I remember them, but I don't remember hearing them. I remember they were like political, right?
Yeah, very, very much so. Their big song is It's Still Bigger Than Hip.
Wait,
right?
No, that's like Biggie or something.
No.
I think of like the Coup or something when I think of Dead Press for some reason.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you the Roots or Boots from the Coup.
I would go the Roots. I was a big Roots fan in high school. Though, you know, I mean, you got to give Boots props as well. And he, as a filmmaker now too, you know?
Yeah. How did you discover the Roots?
I discovered it because this was in like 94 when Do You Want More came out, the Blue album. And I heard it in somebody's car when I was like 16.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think we both discovered when we were younger. We grew up in the same town, but I discovered them. They opened for the Beastie Boys. I can't remember what tour that was, but it was often
the Do You Want More tour.
Oh yeah, well, but
okay, same time.
Yeah. My band and we used to cover, we opened for Tone Loc once a long time ago. I don't do music anymore, but we covered Proceed on that album. It was pretty awesome. Yeah,
Proceed.
I still have those lyrics memorized.
Yeah, I haven't heard it in years, and I bet I do too.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it comes on my playlist quite a bit because I still go back to like I have to listen to some of the old music. They say when you turn 32 or something, most people stop growing in their music taste.
I guess I'm only 31.
Yeah, I think that was what it was, like 32 or something.
I'm only 31 then.
Yeah, okay. You keep listening to new music. I keep trying new music, and I like it. I'm happy.
Yeah, I love learning about new shit, man. I love hearing news. Like, all I want, actually, is to hear something that's like, wow, that's like nothing I've ever heard, you know? That's probably why I make music, actually. Well,
yeah, you have the ability to create something new. I mean, you do anyway.
It's an attempt anyway.
Oh, I wanted to ask about that. Do you recognize your music as being unique, or is it just so normal to you that it's actually weird that like hear it be described as unique?
It depends. I mean, if I go back and listen, if I'm stoned and go back and listen to older shit, sometimes I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Like, but when you're making stuff, you get so focused on it that it ceases to be strange.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because you know it inside and out.
Yeah.
What about Common the rapper or Common the actor?
The same dude, you mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Is he still making music?
he's kind of, for me, to be honest, I feel the same way about him doing both, which is
It's all right.
he's very proficient and he has a very sexy voice, but he's a little stiff.
I mostly loved the Resurrection album, and then I didn't really.
Look, I can't diss him. I
Sure.
just never. He always seemed a little bit serious for me, or something
Took it too seriously.
like that.
Yeah, I can sense. I see what you're getting with that. I think maybe I have the same vibe as that. What wholesome childhood show did you watch as a kid?
Common doesn't watch this, does he?
No.
Yes.
He's on next.
Every day.
He's on next episode.
Look, I think he's brilliant, and I think that he makes a lot of money, and God bless him.
He does some cheesy stuff though, like.
But
you said-
even in his cheesy stuff, it does seem like he's
That
giving
lyric, I got my SAG card, baby. I'm an actor or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a rapper. I got my SAG card, baby.
Yeah, but that sounds
Something like
very.
that. It's cheesy.
I think he meant it to be just serious.
But I know, but he does some cheesy things.
okay.
I'm just saying he takes himself a little seriously. That's all I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
It seems that way, right? That's how I can see that.
I'm sure he's really a very humble and cool guy. I'm
is.
sure he is.
Well, when he texts me later, I'm gonna be like,
Oh
no,
my
just
God.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't- well, what wholesome TV show did you used to watch as a kid? Was there one?
All of the wholesome TV show. I wasn't allowed to watch anything that wasn't wholesome.
Did you have a favorite of those? Like, I'm speaking more like Sesame Street or.
Well, I did watch Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, but there was something called Gospel Bill.
Oh no.
That was like a Christian show on like TBN, like, the whatever, the Christian Broadcasting Network. And I remember one situation. I just brought this up to my mom and my brother when we were hanging out, and my sister when we were hanging out. And it popped in my mind. I remember this one occasion where we were on a trip and staying at like a motel, and my mom was like, we need to get on the road. It was like 10 a.m., and we had stayed overnight, and she's like, we need to get on the road. But like me and my brother and my sister were like watching Gospel Bill, and like we didn't want to turn it off. And my dad was like, it's okay, it's Gospel Bill. Let them watch Gospel Bill. So I remember that. It was like a stupid, I don't know, Christian morals TV
But was it like in the vein of like a Mr. Rogers? Like, was it like a kids show or was it gospel?
It was a kids show with cowboys that were Christians somehow.
Wow.
It very much appealed to a certain demographic that I guess we were part of.
You were that demographic?
I guess
Wait,
so.
This wasn't
I
a
guess so.
cartoon? This
No,
was
it was
actor.
like, maybe they had, I feel like they had like puppets or something, but like they also just had like cowboy people.
Wow.
That's my memory.
I'm looking at
been
old
good
Gospel
35
Bill right now. She's pulled him up on the Googles.
It looks like the Pee-wee version of Bonanza.
That's right. But with a Christian twist. Yes, that's right.
What? So it was a lot of like, was it like a lot of really in your face Christian morals, or was it like kind of subtle?
No.
Oh, was it funny at all? I mean, I'm trying to figure out why you guys. Was it more that you just didn't want to get back on the road, or did you guys love it?
We enjoyed it. And then there was Davy and Goliath, which was the the claymation. That shit's actually really cool. But also a Christian show. That is it was made by like whoever made Gumby. It's really, I like that kind of shit.
I love claymation animation, and I loved Gumby. I was a huge Gumby fan.
Yeah,
So
Gumby's crazy.
Go ahead.
Were you raised Christian?
Yeah, were you raised Christian or Jewish or both?
Yeah, okay. So I was raised Messianic Jewish, which is Jewish people that believe in Jesus.
Oh, Jesus for Jews, those guys.
Kind of, yeah, like a real twist.
Did you
You celebrate
Christmas?
No, because
No.
it's like a pagan holiday, you know.
Ah, yeah. I'm completely. What's the word you use? Naive when it comes to Jewish. We didn't grow up. We grew up in Utah, so like
Yeah.
it was my first like real close Jewish friend was from Philadelphia, and I don't became friends with him in my 30s. So, but
That's
I mean,
where my parents are from.
from Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he still lives out in Philly. I think he was kind of friendly with G Love. And were you a G Love fan at all?
I did, I did kind of like that one of the records.
One. The one I know
There
which
was like
one.
one that
The
came
one.
out in like the early 90s.
With it, where he had the Billboard song on there. I can't remember what that song
I
is.
guess so,
I got
yeah.
sauce. You got sauce.
Oh, yeah. My
But,
baby
it's
got
so
sauce.
cheesy. It's so cheesy.
It's still good.
But it's so good.
It's still a good one. I would still, if it came on, I'd sing it.
Yeah, I did enjoy it at the time.
Speaking of Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers or Mr. Dibbs?
Oh, that's a hard one. They're kind of the opposite. They're kind of the exact opposite
They
character.
certainly are.
I love them both. I'm somewhere between the two. I'm somewhere directly between Mr. Rogers and Mr. Dibbs in my personality.
Oh, you are? You're right in the center of that?
Right in the center.
So Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, are they siblings, cousins, acquaintances, or adversaries?
There is a certain adversarial, connection to the three. Each one wants to be the best one. But they're cousins as well. I mean,
okay.
I personally, and not just because I'm from here, but I think Cincinnati is the most interesting city out of the three. Now, Cleveland, there may be aspects of Cleveland that I'm not really that, because I go to these places on tour, but I've been to Columbus is only 2 hours and 45 away from here. So I've been there more. Columbus is kind of boring, I think.
Are there similarities between the three of them, or are they pretty?
I think they're pretty different, honestly. Yeah. Like Cincinnati is maybe more similar to like Pittsburgh. Cleveland is more similar to maybe like, I don't know, Rochester or Buffalo or one of those towns, or and Columbus is just kind of like flat college town. I'm trying to think of what that reminds me of.
Like that Penn State area.
Oh,
maybe, but it's bigger. It's a bigger city though. Kind of like Penn State a little bit.
Is it very collegey? Very
what is
frat houses and
a lot of it is Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, since we're in that geographically, now we're speaking there. Is it Goetta or Gutta?
They call it Getta.
Getta? There was neither one of those.
What are we talking
What is
about?
it exactly?
Getta is it's a sausage, like a sausage.
Oh,
like
it is
Jimmy
meat.
Dean's, like a Jimmy Dean's type of thing.
Oh, it's meat based.
Yeah, but it has other shit. Like it has like oats in it. I actually ate it one time in my whole life, and that was at like a sleepover at a friend's house when I was 14, 15 years old. And their family had it, but my family's not from here. We're like we don't feel like we're really like placed in Cincinnati, like, because my parents are from Philly, and they never really like feel like and I grew up in this like religious community, so I feel like I never really like integrated into Cincinnati. It's probably also just my isolationist personality.
Sure.
Well.
But you did grow up in Cincinnati?
I did, yeah.
I always thought that thing was like a hash brown or something, but I didn't realize it was meat based.
If it has oats in it, is it more like a meatloaf kind of a thing?
Yeah, sort of, but like it comes in these like rolls, like Jimmy Dean sausage, like where you like you'll chop off like, you know what I'm saying, like a disc of it and then fry it up.
Is it a breakfast thing or?
Yeah, I think so.
What about Buckeye or Butterfinger?
A Buckeye, I like a Buckeye. You talking about the little chocolate covered peanut butter?
Yeah, they look good.
That's so good. I love a Buckeye.
Is that like a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Sort of, yeah, but it's like it's shaped. So a Buckeye, in actuality, is like a nut off of it. That's like our state tree is the Buckeye, and that's the name of the Ohio State team is the Buckeyes. So it's like a chestnut or something, like a little round nut, brown nut. And a Buckeye, the sweet treat, is a ball of peanut butter, which is kind of like mixed with like sugar and some flour. And then you roll it in chocolate. So it gets like a hard chocolate shell. I
think I've seen recipes on Pinterest for this.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they made a non-dairy one, we'd be all over it.
You can just make them yourself.
She's vegetarian, but we don't eat dairy, so that pretty much.
We do eggs and honey, but the boys in the house, they'll do fish and like jerkies and stuff on occasion. But
I'm pretty much the same because I don't eat dairy either. Yeah. And I do eat eggs, and I do eat fish, and I eat chicken, but I don't eat mammals. Yeah. But I wish I could survive without chicken and fish, but I feel like, I have all kinds of digestive issues, and like I don't think I could, because I can't handle like beans or anything like that, unfortunately. So
you can't do beans?
No.
Yeah, then you gotta have the chicken.
Exactly.
Because I'm like every other night, lentils, black beans,
we do a lot of lentils over at this place.
I would explode. My body would explode. It would be
yeah, that wouldn't be good for you.
No.
It's great for my wallet though.
Yeah,
compared to meat prices, I can get big bags of beans for like
definitely
$5.
My 45-minute timer went off. I'm wondering if you can spare just a little bit more so I can get a little more into this, or if you got to.
Chill, man. I need to see what happens.
Okay, yeah, because that went too quick.
That went really fast.
Yeah, sometimes when we get really engaged in conversation, I don't know, I lose track of what's happening.
I'll take that as a compliment of my my company.
Yeah, absolutely. You're well spoken. What reminds me, I had a question I wanted to ask about. I saw on a post or something you wrote the word non sequitur, and I love that word. I'm not confident enough to be able to use it in my body. I'm wondering if you use that in your spoken vocabulary or if it's more of a typed word.
Just the word non sequitur?
Yeah, I don't know why I love that word.
Used it in my spoken vocabulary. It just means, something isn't a natural follow of the next thing. It's just like a new thing. Yeah.
But you use it often?
I mean, as often as I need to.
Word. Yeah, I know.
When it comes up.
I don't know. I've always loved the word, and I'm never confident enough to use it.
I've never heard it. I thought you guys were saying secular or trying to say secular.
It just means that it's not in sequence, non sequitur, not in sequence.
You would use it if you changed subject and it was like that. This is not like what I was just talking about. This is a non sequitur to whatever I'm moving on to. NYC or NKY?
I mean, I guess both of them aren't my favorite for different reasons. Okay. But I and I assume you mean Northern Kentucky.
Yes.
I guess Northern Kentucky is fine. It's just like more Cincinnati, I guess. But, NYC is, of course, very special, but it's a little too much for me.
Yeah.
I'm a like highly sensitive person. We call ourselves.
Yeah.
And NYC's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Oh, go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you read that book?
What book?
Highly sensitive people.
No, I'm just kind of using it out of context. Are you a highly sensitive person?
I think I fall into that category.
HSP, yeah. So
yeah, I definitely am. And then once I start drinking, then I'm in. I'm like, oh, I'm with you guys now.
with the not sensitive people, you mean?
Yeah, no. So I'm I do not like crowds of people. I do not like people. I mean, I do, but like it's sensory overload. It's a little too much. But once I start drinking, I'm like, I enjoy this. I like hanging out with you guys.
This is my problem because I don't drink.
Yeah,
and like my sister hits me up last night at 7. She's like, I'm heading up to this party. I mean, first of all, I'm still like fucking COVID traumatized, but I also was scared to go to the party because like I like all the people. I knew who was there. I knew what whose party it was. I like everybody a lot, but like it terrifies me to like walk in a room full of people and feel like I have to like
Talk.
know how to be a person in there. And
That's very
if I
much
drank,
so.
That's how your wife is, you're saying?
Very much so.
If I drank, I would be good because then you can kind of like, boom, like, hey, but without that, it's hard.
Yeah, it's not.
Weed certainly does not help that.
What we
Does not help.
I dabble every once in a while, and I'm not good at it. Socially,
Weed, you mean?
Yeah, socially, forget about it. I fucking go into weird. I've stopped liking friends that I've been friends with for a long time when I happen to get high with them, and I started coming up with all these weird noticings of things that they did that. I'm not good socially. I've discovered that.
But that shit's real. This is one thing I've noticed.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it?
As a nightly weed smoker, I think that shit is real. I think that weed opens up certain sensitivities and certain like perceptions that you otherwise would have sort of turned off. And so I'll smoke weed sometimes at night. And like, you can ask my ex-girlfriend, like literally every night and be like, oh, fuck. Like, what was this text I sent to this one person? And like, I shouldn't have said that. And like, oh, the way that I did this or that, or like, yeah. So I definitely noticed stuff.
But I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
But
it's
so what?
Like it's taking the red pill or the blue pill. Or
That's
whatever
right.
The fuck it is,
That's what happens to me when I drink. I wake up in the middle of the night and I go, oh, what did I say? Yeah. And then I'm just like, I berate myself for even having had a drink.
Yeah, you do. And then
it's not healthy to think that way, but I don't know. I do like to check myself sometimes with the weed. It helps a bit, but I also try not to get angry at myself. It's like, you know what? We all do and say shit. No one else is fixating on this like I am.
That's what
we had that exact conversation when we were talking to Alexander Brown the other day because he suffers from that, like worrying about what did I do, or he has to say sorry a lot. She used to say sorry a lot, and I mentioned to him like, no one's focused on you. Everyone's in their own head trying to figure out their own shit. No one's thinking so much about what you're saying or how you came off, but. This is supposed to be you inside that hand there.
It's great, man. It really does. It looks like my eyes.
That's what I was trying to go for. All right, well, I'll start getting close to kind of getting wrapped. I do like to get at least some white highlights in there before the conversation is completely over.
Wait, what is that building?
This is the water tower, the water thing in Cincinnati.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it, but I wanted to throw in something Cincy-based, even though you don't connect with Cincinnati, but you are from...
It's not that I don't... I connect. I just, I know what you meant. I'm a little isolated. That's all.
Sure. But I can't remember what they call it. But it is a water tower. It's like an old water tower.
It looks real familiar. I think it's I think I know where that is. Yeah.
It's supposed to be, it's the only thing that could have been fun for me to draw that was Cincinnati based.
Have you been here a bunch?
Not a bunch. No. Every year we're like, we're going to do this, the Summer Fair Cincinnati show. And then we never do. I don't know why. When
you say shows, is this, you mean you have a booth with your art?
So we do a lot of outdoor art festivals. Yeah, we'll do those. We'll do those quite a bit. They used to be fun. They can
be nice.
Yeah, I mean, at times they can be 80% of my yearly income.
Right.
So it's hard to but it's very similar to touring. So
you have to hustle. It's a hustle.
Yep. There's fun parts of it. But after so many years, the first part of touring, when the first time you start doing it, that's fun because you're seeing new cities, new places. The fourth year of that, you're like, I've seen that, done that. And then it's just fucking hustle. Yeah. And then it's just hustle to the next spot and you forget.
This point, like, oh, this place has that great Ethiopian restaurant. That's true.
Right.
And this, because really we only experience restaurants at this point.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you know of towns. No, for sure. Same.
That's when you start touring. Then you do the European tours, and then that brings back all that awesomeness again, where you're like, I know how to travel. That's a great tool to have when you go travel other countries, and then you get that new experience of like, this is new.
Yeah. I would like to spend some time in Europe, man. I miss it over there.
Yeah, you guys did, but you did a lot of touring in Europe, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, we done a lot of touring over there. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: chili or cereal? Oh, I guess you can't do
What do you
chili.
mean chili?
You can't do the chili. Chili is such a huge
I used to
Cincinnati
eat chili.
thing.
I mean, there was a period last year during the pandemic where I tried to go vegetarian, and I was like, maybe I can do it now, and we were making a lot of chili and loved it, but like I couldn't really handle it very much. So nowadays I eat cereal. Now I only eat, because I don't eat like all the stuff with all the sugar and stuff.
Sure.
So I eat, sorry, that was a text. I eat, they're like Rice Krispies, but the only ingredients are rice.
Oh, shit.
Oh, those are called rice cakes.
Well, I eat rice cakes as well, but this is like cereal form rice puffs, let's call it.
Oh.
Yeah, Rice Krispies.
No, yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, you didn't say Rice
Krispies,
Krispie treats?
No, not Rice Krispie treats, like Rice Krispies.
Okay. My brain just went to candy.
Without the sugar and everything, just plain rice puffs.
Oh, just plain Rice Krispies, but not the version
Without
that's
the
all
sugar.
the sugar. My neighbor.
No,
used
but
to
they're
eat
not
that.
Rice. It's a different brand. It's like the health
Crispy
food,
rice.
Whole Foods shit.
Oh, okay. So you don't, because I guess you don't have a favorite cereal.
You enjoy that cereal?
I mean, it's what I can handle. I do like it. I'll put like blueberries or banana in it or something. Yeah.
Well, what about oatmeal? Do you do oatmeal at all?
Occasionally. I actually used to eat, when I was a kid, like a treat was what we called raw oatmeal, and it was just oatmeal in milk, cold oatmeal is what we call it.
Oh, yeah.
Overnight oats or something.
Not even overnight. It was like maybe the quick oats or whatever, Quaker shit, and you just kind of like, you let it sit for like 5-10 minutes so it gets a little bit soft, but it's still got a little bit of like bite to it. Al dente.
Yeah.
But then we would put like honey and raisins or things like that.
My wife just told me about this one, so I've started doing it because I have to eat my oats for it's good for the cholesterol. But they, instead of using any sweeteners, now I'll take a banana and hot water, and I'll grind that up to the water, and then use that as my water and sweetener.
Banana water.
Yeah, banana water, and I just pour that right into the oats, let it sit for a minute, and then it's really sweet, come from the banana. I mean, it's still sugar, but it's that, a little healthier than sweetening it with, and I love it.
Do you put any creaminess in it? Do you have any kind of milk in it?
Nope. That when you put in a blender, when you put that hot water, boiling water, like with the banana, it makes it so creamy. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty delicious.
Kind of froths it up. That sounds good.
Yeah, it is really good. The Wandering Wolf podcast is I know I hate when people bring up projects to me that I'm not kind of doing anymore because it puts pressure on me, and they'll go like, oh, maybe I need to go back. But I haven't seen an episode for a bit. I'm wondering if that's on hiatus for a while.
Well, you made me just think maybe I need to go back and get back to it. I really loved doing it. I just haven't done it since the pandemic because I always did it in person. That was always like the idea, is like I would roll up into someone's, zone where they were at, or see people, in their town. That's kind of the Wandering Wolf. That's kind of the idea, is that it's me traveling around. And so I did it on tour. So I haven't done any since the pandemic. And, I have this offer from a good friend of mine to be on his like podcast network now, which is super generous of them.
With your podcast?
With my podcast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I want to do that, but I just haven't gotten it together.
And the
maybe
show,
when I start traveling, I'll do it.
Yeah, and the show is you traveling. That's the part of. I mean, that's the show. You can't just.
That's what I think about it. It doesn't have to be. I could do stuff like this on Zoom.
Right.
And I was going to for a minute, and then I just kind of like lost my nerve. But
it could be the Wolf's Den edition.
The Wolf's Den edition.
There you go. Right. Ooh, branding. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll get back to it at some point. But it is. I do enjoy doing a podcast. I'm sure you do as well.
It's like now that drawing is my living, it's almost like this is what I get to do for my fun part.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit! See, this is happening to me a lot lately. I had something I was going to say and then I lost it. Oh damn it! Well, I just watched your TV, the pilot. Oh, I know. What I was going to say. I'll get back to that.
Pilot for what?
Sorry, let me get back to that before I forget this one. It just went away.
Oh my gosh. Okay, the pilot for what?
Who's smoking weed?
I know.
Shit. Wait, no, the pilot. I was gonna say the pilot. Oh, I know what it was. What's the draw? What for you? What's the drive? I mean, so you make music, you're doing podcasts, you're doing all these collaborations. Like, what's the drive? What's behind that? Why all of these things?
I don't know. I mean, you got to stay doing stuff, I guess, as a human. That's a good question. I ask myself that sometimes, I guess, like, what am I doing and why am I doing it? Obviously we have to make a living. We have to sort of contribute to the conversation. We want to like communicate our feelings. We want to be social. These are all different reasons, I guess.
Yeah. So do you make your living as an artist? Or
yeah,
do you
music.
also have a 9-to-5?
I don't have a 9-to-5. No, okay. Through doing music. Yeah.
Of all your collaborations, what's the one that you're most comfortable creatively?
I guess with which people you mean?
Yeah.
I guess my brother is the easiest, just because we've kind of been doing stuff together for a long time, and it's kind of like feels low pressure. Like I can get sometimes collaborating with people, I can get really nervous. And it goes along with that same social anxiety that like I can feel at a party or something, but in a room with someone and you're supposed to produce,
Yeah.
It can make me really nervous. You
and Dose together are like, I don't know what it is, but it's so great. Are you able to articulate why that is so great? I don't know when the last time you guys were like doing something together, but everything
been a long
you've done
time.
together.
It's been a very long time, but yeah, there is something about that marriage, I think, too. I mean, we really I should say he really kind of started me off. I didn't start him off in music, but I think that just meeting me changed his trajectory a bit to feeling like he could do stuff that was a little more like from his heart or something, or more, without feeling like he had to have the sort of bravado thing as a rapper. Because, he started as like a battle rapper. Yeah. But, so yeah, there was something there for sure, a synergy. One thing that I discovered recently, again, was this song called Canada. That came and went. It was just like a song that we did together. Me and Adam wrote it. And then basically he wrote the lyrics. I'm trying to remember how it went. He gave me like a stack of lyrics that was like just his writing about different things. And I kind of pulled different lyrics from different places. This was way different than we worked on CLOUDEAD. And I kind of like, I made a song with a melody out of his words, basically. Oh. And then he sang it beautifully sang it very quietly and gently. And then it was produced by like my brother and Gel. And it just is a unique song that we made. Is it something that we can all hear? Is it somewhere? I mean, you can Google it and try to find it. It's not on Spotify or anywhere like that. I think at some point I'd like to put it on there because it's really cool. But yeah, that's just an aside. but yeah, I do think that we had a cool thing going, especially for me listening to the second cLOUDEAD album called 10, which maybe didn't get as much love as the first one. I think there's so much cool interaction between the two of us on there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of you two together. I've always really liked it.
Did you and your brother used to play instruments and stuff together and sing together when you were kids?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't sing as much, but we both, we definitely played instruments. I mean, he was like a drum. He's in my band nowadays. I mean, when that comes around again, we'll but he's a drummer, and I mean, he plays everything, but he started drums when he was like 4 years old, and he became like a real
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, like virtuoso type player. And, I sort of tagged along and played drums as well, but not as well as him. And I played piano, but not great throughout my childhood. Okay, the colored pencil. Okay.
Yeah, throwing a little bit of white highlights on there. I like to at least get a little bit of white highlights in there while we're talking, and then obviously we'll finish it later.
Your paper is...
Gray tone.
It is a gray tone. Okay.
Yeah. Got
it. That's cool, man. Yeah, so we played a little bit. I mean, we didn't really jam together that much. He's 3 years older than me, so he kind of had his friends and I had mine. And he was in a band in high school that like they would win like the Battle of the Bands type of shit. Like they were really good. And me and my friends, I think we entered the Battle of the Bands twice and lost in the first round both times, but like, would have fun. We just weren't organized. We would just jam.
Yeah.
Do you think in those days, did you guys have a really close relationship, or were you like the burden little brother that he's got to bring along, the tag along little brother?
I don't know that he felt that way necessarily, but we didn't like hang that much when we were in sort of high school age.
My brother's 3 years older than me, and we're two different worlds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you guys always got along, had a good relationship.
We got along. Yeah. He was like a marching band and like rock band kid. And I was a art kid, Yeah.
Shoot, man, I'm feeling really bad about holding you up. Let me, I'll start wrapping it up. I'll finish. I'll obviously get it finished for you. I discovered doing these that the 45-minute thing is just too hard. There are certain things that I definitely have to do on the show, so I started doing this trivia question thing. So let me get this one out of the way. Easy, hard, medium, or impossible?
Let's do medium.
Okay. Alfred Nobel invented what explosive material?
Dynamite.
You got it. Oh, it's the first person to ever get the answer right.
Give me a hard one.
Okay, I'll give you a hard one. Boy, that one was hard for me. Did you know that answer, or was that a guess? I mean, I guess every answer
I knew
is
it in
a
the
guess.
back of my mind. I knew it in the deep recesses.
Okay. What is Hansen's disease more commonly known as?
I think I knew this at one point.
Fuck. Hansen's disease. Multiple sclerosis.
No. Good guess, though.
What is it?
Oh, I've read it was Childish Gambino, but that's the wrong answer. That's an answer to that.
That's not it.
Shit, I put it away. I looked at it, the answer, and I knew it, and then oh my God.
I'll find out for you.
He got that early onset.
I know. I do. I have a fear of it, so I do brain games after my workout. On my phone, I have these specific brain
Google
games.
Hansen's disease.
Oh yeah, it's leprosy. That's right.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Don't Google that. Speaking of not wanting to see certain things, because she just Googled it, and I looked over and saw.
I went back to my David and Goliath claymation page.
There you go.
They're
wholesome.
really cute.
But to keep the wholesome, although that was the era. That was the real era of leprosy, was the David and Goliath era.
All right. Well, I also have to do a random information thing because I do those. I'm banging them all out because I droned on. Tweety Bird. This is random information I just like to share. Tweety Bird was originally pink.
Shit.
Yeah, but the studio censors thought that he looked too naked, so they made him turn him yellow.
Plus, he had a big ass dick.
Well, once they painted him yellow, you couldn't see it as much.
Right. Good.
I want to do five real quick Cincinnati-based people as some Sophie's choices. Are you okay with that?
Oh gosh, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Get me in
Only
trouble.
one of them of the Sophie choice. Only one of them is Cincy-based, so you can pick either one. Cat Williams or Saul Williams.
God bless Saul Williams, but he's great. But I got to go Cat Williams. He's one of the funniest to ever do it.
Awesome. I got to be honest. I think you're a poet. So I would have thought you would have went the Saul Williams route, but yeah.
Huge
awesome.
Cat Williams fan. Cat Williams.
Okay. So that one. I usually have an idea where I think maybe someone's going to guess. And what about Steven Spielberg or Steven Soderbergh?
Again, we're going sort of wholesome. I say Spielberg.
Okay. I go see.
Which is your favorite?
Mine?
No.
Oh.
Which what?
Which movie?
Which
Yeah.
Spielberg?
Oh, I don't know. Just collectively, like I feel like he has such a body of work of like.
Because he did.
He's kind of like the quintessential.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like if you were to like read a book of like what is a film in like from like the late 70s to now, it's like he would have the like cookie cutter method.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Soderbergh. I mean, I don't even know what Soderbergh did except like Mission Impossibles and shit. What else did he?
He's Soderbergh is he did the Oceans.
The Oceans. That's what
movies.
I meant.
But then he did a movie with a porn star. I can't remember what the movie's called. What her name was.
Porn?
No, but it was about her. It was kind of about her being in porn. It's a really, really good movie. It's not like a Oceans.
Maybe I chose poorly.
No, you didn't, because Steven Spielberg
classics.
he's a classic. But I always went away from him because they always had that perfect ending where everything's great and grand, which I appreciate now that I'm older. I kind of want happy movies now. Now that life has become so depressing.
I guess I was, when I thought Soderbergh, I was thinking the Oceans movies, but I think you're right. He has some more artsy stuff.
He does. He has quite a few artsy pictures, and I can't name them off the top of my head, but they're really good.
And which one of those guys, is from Cincinnati?
Spielberg.
Oh, okay.
Cincinnati born.
Cincy?
He's Cincy born, yeah.
You know what? I think he went to my high school for like 7th grade or something like that, briefly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a missed memory.
But it sounds good, and these days, if it sounds good, we're going with it.
I know exactly. I know. What's his name? Went to my high school for 7th and 8th grade. What's his name? Swastika on the forehead.
Oh, Manson. I saw
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That was something I noticed today when I was kind of looking up, like, if there's anything interesting in Cincinnati, because Ohio, like, is just a blur in my head. Like,
it's a blur in reality.
It doesn't really exist as a place you just drive through.
Yeah.
And then end up on the other side.
Oh,
But
people don't like to be called flyover states, Adrian.
I saw that he was from there, but then he got picked up here in Utah.
I don't mind about the flyover state. It is what it is. We know what we are.
Yeah.
But Manson went to your high school?
Briefly, yeah.
Wow.
He wasn't one I was going to bring up because I'm not a big Manson fan.
I mean,
No?
No. Well, some people are. I mean, I know I brought up his name multiple times, but I know Mr. Dibbs is probably a Manson fan.
Gibbs is probably a Manson fan.
Probably.
Yeah, he owns like
probably
some of
had
his
some
artwork.
letters from him or something.
Yes.
3 more, and then I want to be able to bring up your podcast. This is what they all do. So Drew Carey or Drew Barrymore?
Drew Carey's from Cleveland.
Oh, is he? Well, it said he was born in Cincinnati.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah.
I sort of think of him as a Cleveland guy. Drew Barrymore, definitely. She's great.
Wes Craven or Wes Anderson?
Is Wes Craven from Cincinnati?
He is.
I know Wes Anderson is from Texas.
Yeah, Wes Craven is from Cincinnati. I'm a big Wes Craven fan.
certainly Wes Anderson for me.
Sure.
I'm not like as much of a horror movie guy. And I do like Wes Anderson a lot.
You seem like you're on that brainwave of Wes Anderson. I take that as a compliment, I hope. But,
yeah, weird, like sort of surreal reality.
so corduroy or velvet?
Which they invented corduroy in Cincinnati?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking of, when I think of you, I think of corduroy. I don't know why.
I would go corduroy.
Awesome.
Go corduroy.
Well, so he has a TV series. I don't know. Was that something that you made to be picked up, or was that you wrote a grant for it and you just made the one episode?
Yeah, we wrote a grant for it. My friend did. The guy who like directed it and produced it. Really, he pretty much did everything except sort of write it, and
Are you really close to that guy?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to say it feels very much like you. The episode, it's got very much it feels like your music.
I feel a little bit cheesy in it. If I was to rewatch it now, I feel like but it's like, how do you like host a travel show? That's kind of like the vibe of it. So yeah, we got a grant to do it through this like Cincinnati organization, but then we thought of it, as like, could we do this in other cities and stuff? And it never worked out, but we considered it, and we pitched it to someone, but not that many people. I can't remember. But yeah.
Is it something you'll continue to pursue, or is that dead in the water?
I don't know. If something comes of it, cool. If not, cool. Like I don't know.
I really enjoyed it. I watched it last night,
you.
and I really thought it was good. I understand what you're saying, if like feeling cheesy, but the editing, everything, it's well crafted.
It's super well made.
Yeah, it was really very well made, and it felt like you. It really did. That's why I was wondering if the guy who did what you said he did, was it close to you, because it felt like one of your albums or something. But I was watching a visual.
And I don't want to say that I did. I was very involved in the thing, and sat in the editing room, and we ideated it together, in terms of what it was. But he certainly directed and produced it. Yeah,
it's really good. I want to turn anyone that's listening, I would like you to check it out. It's really, really good.
What is it called again? I think
The Wandering Wolf.
It's like an extension of my podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing that I would need to promote now, if I'm going to promote something, would be my series.
Oh, what is this?
The thing I was talking about in the beginning.
The residency.
Yeah.
The residency.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so I kind of missed that. So that's a TV series or a YouTube?
No, it's a music thing. So basically, I make.
Sorry, I was just wondering where you find it, like on.
Yeah, so you can find it on. That's a good question. Social media, I guess.
Okay.
We talk about the shit on there, and then there's like links on there, but I can't really say what a link would be right now in my head.
Because you don't have them in. Are there other people that are doing residencies? Cincinnati?
Residencies.
It's like one person at a time. So the guy that did it previous, do you remember this like indie band called Sebadoh?
No.
It's like related to Dinosaur Jr. It's like in that world. And this guy Lou Barlow, he was the previous resident and did it. And then when he quit doing it, the label head asked me if I wanted to do it. I was like, yeah, it sounds great. So yeah, basically I make one original song and one demo song every month, and people can like sign up to get those either digitally or physically. Like they actually cut vinyls every month on like an in-house lathe at the studio at the label.
Are the I'll call them patrons for lack of a better term, but are they involved in the like creative process of it, or is it just the end result of it?
They could be involved in that. They hear what I do, and then they could be like, I like this or I don't like this aspect, and it would 100% affect my.
So that's like a website. So it's like a kind of like that. Is it like a website where your residency is, where people would go to?
It's email blasts every month, and then I do like I have a Discord for it.
Right.
So that you can only, like a private one that you can only enter if you're a member.
Okay.
And then I do monthly like this, like meet and greets basically on the Discord.
Awesome. And that's how so it's like almost like a Patreon sort of thing.
Yes. It's kind of similar to Patreon in that way, except there's like a physical element if you want it. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of leading towards an album, hopefully.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. Well, I end the discussion with a final philosophical question. And so here's the philosophical question. Do acts of kindness have a motive?
If they do, it's to be kind.
Okay. Yeah,
and to show compassion to someone that could use the compassion.
Yeah. I when with my philosophical questions, I don't ever have an answer to them. I'm impressionable, so I'll hear what someone has to say and I'll go like, yeah, I think I agree with that. Well, it was awesome to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. But
thank you. That's incredible.
Well, thank you. Really, truly. I love your music. I'm a big fan. So it was awesome to have you on the show. Other than the residency, you have nothing else immediate in the future that you could share at this moment?
No, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So that's it. And then, we'll see what the future holds.
How do you prefer people to consume or to get your music and stay informed about you? What's your preferred method of?
I guess, social media is a good way to stay informed these days, as weird as it is. Or they could go to my website for my band, which is whywithaquestionmark.com, all spelled out. Okay. whywithaquestionmark.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and all right. That works.
Well, the one question I like to ask the musicians: what album of yours or what music of yours do you prefer? Would you prefer someone, if they've never heard of you or heard your music, what's the album that they should start with, get their feet wet with, that you think will turn them on to want them to kind of explore more of your catalog? What album is that one that they should start with?
That's a tough one. I don't feel like I'm qualified to make that call as the guy, sort of like the wizard behind the curtain.
Yeah.
But
can I pick what alopecia is? What I want them to start with alopecia, but I don't know.
Yeah. That is a fan favorite.
That's a good representation of what you'll get from you. And then if they like that, I feel like they would venture into maybe some stuff that could be called more obscure from you. I don't know. So
I think that's a fine choice for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll I guess hopefully stay in touch in the interwebs.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me for sure, and it's been fun. And you'll have to do a F Marry Kill, the hand, the water tower, or the dog. You have to consider that in your free time.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks so much. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Cheers.
I sleep on my back 'cause it's good for the spine and coffin rehearsal. I know a psychic who reads her own palms and...
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Damn, that was such a great conversation. I droned. I always feel bad when I'm doing that. I have like 1,000 things that I didn't get to, but that's the way it goes. So now I'm the one that needs to use the restroom. I guess we'll wrap quick.
Okay.
Is there any notes that you wanted to mention?
No. Just if you like the video, hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, at whatever you're listening on or watching on, go ahead and subscribe now so you never miss an episode.
Yeah, do the subscribing thing, because that's the easiest way for you to know that a new episode is out, since with all the algorithms, anytime I post about them, they get knocked out. I want to mention real quick, do go listen to that Alopecia album if you haven't heard and Yoni's work. It's fantastic.
And I think you should leave a comment below what do you think is better, corduroy or velvet?
Corduroy or velvet? What's your choice? What is your choice, Sade?
Corduroy. I hate velvet.
Corduroy feels so restrictive and tight. I don't know.
I loved my cord jeans way back when. I
had so many great questions for him. I guess I'm gonna have to put those in somewhere else
next time.
Yeah,
another time.
Thanks, Yoni, so much for joining us. Yeah, he's a really I don't know. I feel we have a lot of similarities, him and I. Well, I like them.
Another easy conversation.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to check out more of Ty's art, go to artbyty.com.
And guess where I'm going?
In your pants.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
There are thoughts in my head that take place in my bed, and I don't have to lie, but I do that instead. Things that need to be said, poison in my brain like lead.
Thanks for watching this episode of DOD45. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I don't want you to ever miss an episode. Also, stick around my YouTube page for a bit. There's a whole array of videos to enjoy, including time-lapse videos, drawing tutorials, and live streams. It's like an amusement park. Now click that subscribe button and go watch another episode of DOD45. Cheers.